Hi guys. All right, so we're opening up to page 72 in Sisters Grimm, and where we left off, so they have gone to the hospital to visit Mr. Appleby to see if they can get any information out of him. And when they go, there is Mayor Charming, Glinda the not so good witch, and Mr. Seven, and they are erasing Mr. Appleby's memories with some magical pink dust. So we are on page 72. Glinda, Mrs. Grimm cried. I thought you were supposed to be a good witch. Glinda's face flushed bright red. We all have to pay our bills, Relda, she said as she lowered her head and quickly made her way to the door. Save your indignation, Charming added as he and Mr. Seven followed. This is part of our job. Oh dear, Appleby will never be able to tell us anything, Relda Grimm said loudly, as if for the benefit of Charming and his team. Without an eyewitness, we're never going to get to the bottom of this mystery. She looked at the girls and pressed her finger to her lips so they would be quiet. After several seconds, she poked her head out of the room. They're gone. What are we doing here? Sabrina asked. She didn't feel comfortable waiting around in the hospital room of a man she didn't even know, especially since people were dumping what looked like the contents of vacuum cleaner bags all over him. We're waiting. For who? Daphne asked. But no sooner had she said it than a thin, frail woman with gray-streaked black hair entered the room. Can I help you? She asked, eyeing the old woman and the girls with suspicion. Mrs. Appleby, I'm Relda Grimm, and these are my granddaughters, Sabrina and Daphne. We heard about the accident. Are you all right? Mrs. Grimm asked. Oh, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Do you know my husband? No, but I happen to do a little detective work from time to time, and I was thinking I might be able to help. How is he? Mrs. Appleby gazed down at the injured man and smiled sadly. To be honest, I'm a little worried about him. He was raving earlier. He told the wildest story. The doctors gave him a sedative to calm him down. Wait a minute, he's waking up, she said as he began to stir. Thomas, how are you feeling? Mrs. Appleby asked as she sat next to his bed and rubbed his hand. Deborah, who are these people? The farmer asked his wife. They're with the police, Mrs. Appleby replied. Mrs. Grimm stepped forward. Not the police, dear. Detectives. It's kind of a hobby. My granddaughters and I are very glad to see you two weren't too badly injured, considering. You three are detectives? Mr. Appleby looked from Mrs. Grimm to the children suspiciously. Yes, Mrs. Grimm said, causing Daphne to practically swell with pride. Well, I think a crime has been committed, Mrs. Grimm, said Mr. Appleby said. You do? They should arrest whoever dressed your granddaughters this morning. Thomas, be nice. I think they look adorable. Mrs. Appleby cried. I'm sorry. He's been a grouch since we got here. He doesn't like hospitals. Sabrina looked down at her goofy outfit and seethed with anger. Who would buy a girl who was almost 12 a shirt with a monkey on it? Well, what can I do for you, Mrs. Grimm? Mr. Appleby grunted. Do you remember anything about the accident? The old woman said. What accident? The farmer asked. Mrs. Grimm frowned. What accident? Mrs. Appleby exclaimed. Thomas, the house has been destroyed. I found you lying in the field unconscious. You don't remember? I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with the house, Mr. Appleby argued. Oh dear, the painkillers are really doing a number on him, Mrs. Appleby said, shifting in her seat to face him. Mrs. Grimm, I don't think my husband is up to talking right now. I understand. Perhaps you might have a moment to spare us then. Of course. Mrs. Appleby gestured for them to follow her into the hallway. All right, you guys, we're gonna pause here on page 75. I'm gonna put my bookmark in. You guys can put your bookmark in too. And then today, tomorrow during our meeting, we'll read a little bit more starting with page 75. All right, I'll see you guys soon.